Hello, Cadet Nation. This is Kosiorek, Superintendent of Schools, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Cadet Chat. We're so excited to have our guests today. We're going to learn about another great program here at Hilton High School and throughout the district. So today's guests are Isabella Smith to my left, and to my furthest left is Lindsey Bleier. So Isabella is a senior and Lindsey is a 10th grader, and they're here to talk about the Best Buddies program. So I'll start with Lindsey. What are your thoughts on the Best Buddies program?
I love the Best Buddies program. I think it's an amazing way to incorporate inclusion and just make everybody feel welcomed in Hilton.
So for our audience today, could you describe a little bit about folks that might not be familiar with the Best Buddies program, what it is?
So the Best Buddies program is where kids who are autistic or have special needs can be paired up with people who don't, and we kind of just make friends and everyone can feel included, and we do activities, and yeah.
That's great. I love the feeling. Sometimes, at least back when I went to high school, which was a long time ago, there wasn't always that feeling of inclusion. So a lot of times people did what they did. Maybe they were into music or sports or just hanging out. And it was very hard sometimes to break into different social groups. So I really like the fact that you were talking about inclusivity. Students from all different backgrounds being welcome and coming together. So that's great. Isabella, tell us a little bit about how you learned about the program and how long have you been participating in it?
I've been participating in it since I was a sophomore, and I actually found out when I was applying to be class president. One of the advisors for this program is also an advisor for my grade. So she recommended this program because she was like, a lot of your ideas and your morals, they seem to really line up with the Best Buddies program and the Best Buddies mission. So then I decided to join. And ever since then, I've just loved it because I've been able to foster an inclusive environment for people who don't typically have that inclusive environment.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the benefits to making sure that everybody feels included? What are some of the things you think that you've learned through the process?
Through the process, I've definitely learned that individuals, everybody has their own needs. So at the meetings, we always have something for everybody. So it's really opened my mind up to how everybody is unique from one another and that everybody has their purpose, but it looks a little bit different from person to person.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing that with me. So how did you first hear about the Best Buddies program, Lindsey?
I first heard it, I saw a flyer on the hallway, and I was like, what is Best Buddies? So I looked it up, and I was like, this is a really cool program. So I joined. This is my first year.
Okay, great. So you're feeling good about your decision to join the group?
Very much.
Excellent. And Isabella, how did you learn about it?
I learned about it from my class advisor.
Okay, that's right. Very good. What's the best part about being in a club like this?
The best part is all of the different people that you meet because anybody can join it. There's no cuts like in sports. Mm-hmm. It's grades 9 through 12, and everybody just has such unique, great personalities. And it's just you walk in the room and you immediately feel welcomed. There's no oh, I don't know if I belong here. Everybody just feels welcome in the environment.
Mm-hmm. Great. How often do you guys meet?
We meet once a month for the entire all of the members of the club, but e-board, which who are the runners of it, meet a little more than that, so twice a month-ish.
All right. So you have a staff member who's your advisor. Now, what does that look like? Do you drive the agenda as student leaders and you get some input from the advisor? Do you work together? What does that look like?
We work together a lot, but we kind of just bounce ideas off of each other, and everyone kind of comes up and then they're like, yeah, let's do this. I think this would be best for everybody.
Great. Do you have do you guys host events? Is it just meeting as a club? What does that look like?
Well, since Best Buddies is an international program, there are lots of events that happen outside of our school. So we have the Friendship Walk, which in the past, because of COVID, it's taken place different times. But this year, I believe that it's in April or May, and it's available for all the Best Buddies programs in Western New York. And so we have that event, and then we're also trying to organize events for this year that will take place outside of the high school.
Great.
And we have a Best Buddies prom
Great.
where it's prom, but you go with your
Yeah.
person you were buddied up
So
with.
tell me a little bit about, what does the friendship walk look like? What might it look like here in Hilton?
So the Friendship Walk, it usually takes place at an indoor venue or at a park. And it's an opportunity for the Monroe County chapters of Best Buddies and like all of the Western New York chapters to just get together. Last year it was done like around a baseball field, so we walked the bases. That way it's like inclusive for people who might not be able to walk as far, or it's not on like a rough terrain, so that if somebody in a wheelchair like wants to do it, of course they can also do it. And it's basically just like a big party. There's lots of different stations set up that have activities, and it's just a really great event to all be together.
Great. Lindsey, tell us a little bit about your vision and thought about the prom that you mentioned. Do you know where that might be held this year?
Last year was held at Nazareth College, and so it might be there again, but we may find somewhere else different. So.
All right. Now, will that have maybe a meal and dancing, or is it just dancing, or what might that look like as you plan it?
It has snacks and dancing, and in years past there was like categories, so you would dress up different, like decades, or there's different themes.
Oh, that's real fun. Maybe our other prom will learn something from you guys. That's really cool. So can you tell me a little bit about your schedule, Isabella, and how you find the time to manage your classwork and your responsibilities with the club?
Well, I am very fortunate to have early dismissal this year as a senior, so that kind of gives me a lot of planning time, and I am also one of the class executive council members. So that extra hour of free time each day that I get is really valuable, because like I have time to catch up on schoolwork that, like, if I don't have a ton of homework typically, but any homework I do have, like, I can catch up during that time, and then I can also start to plan, like, for our meetings. I can plan for student council stuff, and then I typically work on the weekends, so that leaves my weekdays pretty free, so I have lots of time to just like make sure that I'm doing the best that I can with all of my different activities.
Great. So what other activities are you involved in? And you mentioned work. Where do you work?
I work at Wendy's on Latta Road.
All right. Excellent. And other activities outside of work in this group?
Yes, I am in drama club, and I do the musical every year. I'm in student council, and I'm a class executive council member.
Great. I had an opportunity to go to Alice at Wonderland. I thought that was great. What character or role did you play in that?
Thank you. I was Rose, and I was one of the dancers.
Oh, great, great. That was, I didn't know how I would like it, right, with the spin on it, but it really came out well. I hope you guys had a good time doing that.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Great, excellent. Lindsey, outside of this group, we talk about academics and making sure we get our schoolwork done. How do you manage your time, and what other activities are you involved in?
Other activities I'm involved in is I play varsity tennis, and I do debate club. And to manage my time, a lot of the time when I get home from school, I go right into doing homework, and I set a set period of time, like 1 or 2 hours, to just get everything I can done. And then I take a break, and I use time for socializing, and then whatever I didn't finish, I set another amount of time. And it really helps me time manage.
Oh, yeah. Isabella, tell us a little bit about a special memory that you've had during your time with the club.
A special memory that I had was actually our last meeting, because we did a holiday activity. So we had cookie decorating, and we were painting ornaments. And then we also had one of our members make a playlist, because he really enjoys coordinating like the music for all of our meetings. And it was just really great, because everybody had their own part of the meeting that they felt comfortable with. So some people that didn't really like the texture of like cookie decorating, they had the ornaments that they could paint, or they could just sit there and they could listen to the music.
Oh, that's great. Let's see. Lindsey, now you tell us a little bit about maybe the special moments or memories you've had with Best Buddies.
I think my favorite memory would, again, it had to be our last meeting. It was really fun, and I feel like everyone just had something that they enjoyed doing, but at the same time, everyone was kind of doing things together. And so, yeah, and we got a lot of great conversations, and it was really fun.
Great, thank you. What would you advise other sophomores who might be interested in joining Best Buddies?
Just come. I mean, you can come in at any time. There's nothing really stopping you. Yeah, like you can join now, you can join next year. Just try it out.
Great. Isabella, where do I find the information if I do want to join? Do I go to the main office? Do I go online? What do I do?
Well, if you wanted to join, you could always come to me directly, and I can help you out with information. You could talk to either of our advisors, Mrs. Spreeder or Mrs. Johnson. And we also do have an Instagram. It's Best Buddies Hilton. So if you search that up, you'll be able to find us right there. We'll be one of the first to pop up, and you'll see pictures from our past meetings, and we also try to post like when our next meeting is going to be.
Great. So Isabella, tell us now, kind of moving past our Best Buddies time together, what's in your future? You're a senior and you're kind of wrapping your time up here in the Cadet Nation, and once you're a cadet, you're always a cadet, so that's great. But what are your future plans?
Well, I definitely want to go south. My top 2 choices for college are University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and Vanderbilt University. I'm thinking about going in as business undecided, and then I would like to pursue my doctorate after that.
Great. When you go off to college, do you think you'll take what you learned in the Best Buddies Club and apply it to your future learning?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely will. This program has definitely changed the way that I see things, because I'm able to see like what other people go through on a daily basis. Obviously, I have my own things that I go through, but like all of our other members also have their own personal things that they go through on a daily basis that I've been able to see.
That's great. And if we could get more and more of your peers to see the world that way, we can just continue to be a better world. So, Lindsey, tell me, I know you're a sophomore and you're going to be with us for a couple more years.
Yes.
And it sounds like you're doing a lot of great things. So, what's in your future over the next couple years?
I definitely want to be in a medical program. Right now I'm leaning towards a nurse, and I want to stay local and go to U of R.
Oh, great. Fantastic. So you've got a little time, but
I do.
keep working and the biology classes and all that good stuff to get prepared. So thank you so much for joining the show today. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Again, if you see this and you want to join Best Buddies, just stop on by.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing program and everybody is welcome.
Awesome. You guys are just doing a fantastic job. Thank you for being student leaders here. And thank you for leading the charge with inclusivity in our district. This is such an important thing that we want to continue to grow here in the Hilton Central School District. So once again, I want to thank our guests, Isabella and Lindsey, for being here with us today and for sharing the great things that are happening in our Best Buddies Club. Thank you very much. Have a great day.